Boomchanka, it's the pig here. For an awesome place to get your football shirts, check out jerseysfc.ru. They've got the latest United kits, all the latest kits. Check it out. Enter Mr. Flying Pig HD into the coupon code section and you'll get a 10% discount on your order. Pretty sweet. Click the link in the description.
Boomchanka, it's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with a video Q&A for you. Today we are going to be answering a few of you guys' questions who were kind enough to send video submissions in. If you want to ask me a question for next week's video Q&A, send it in to mrflyingpighd@gmail.com. Gmail. What the? Anyway, thanks very much for tuning in. Chuck a like on it. Let's get stuck into this.
Hey, what's good, man? I want to ask you, when are you getting merch? And also, what are your predictions for the top 6 this season? Any surprise teams? Anything that you want to mention? Thank you, and I look forward to hearing your response. Bye.
Boomchanka, Alex Rudd in the house. Thank you very much for sending that question in, pal. From a busy New York street, it looks like. But thank you very much for stopping by here with those big puppy dog eyes. Let's answer your question. So, in terms of merchandise, I do actually have a shitty Spreadshirt shop set up, which I do not update. And I just made years ago. So I'm going to set up one of those, I forget the name of it now, but one of those new ones that you can post on YouTube at some point. I will do that, Alex. But and also, you know, DJ Fergus and a few of the other legends and followers that contact me about wanting to buy shirts. I'll try and do something about that, obviously, very soon. In terms of the top 6, crikey, I mean, you'd have to be crazy to look beyond Man City or Liverpool for the title really again this season. I think Man City they're just a well-oiled machine under Pep. He's got an incredible squad there and they play incredible football. And they won the league against an incredible Liverpool side by 1 point, so it could go either way. But I just think it's more likely for Man City to replicate the season that they had. Obviously, they got over 100 points the season before as well. Than it is for Liverpool to replicate the sort of points tally they got this last season just gone. But obviously, it does depend. So I think I'll probably go Man City 1, Liverpool 2nd. In terms of the 3rd and 4th places to the remaining Champions League spots, I am actually going to have to give it to Tottenham and Arsenal. I know that sounds messed up, lads, for me to even say that. The teams missing out would be Chelsea and Manchester United. I just think Chelsea, maybe at this moment in time, although they do have some good players, they've just lost Eden Hazard and, of course, the manager, and it's a bit of transition, bit of change. I don't necessarily see them unless they do some crazy stuff in the transfer window. And it looks like maybe Frankie Lampard's in the line to get in that job. Unless they do something, I just don't see them really getting into the top 4 this coming season. So that leaves it for Spurs, who are looking like they're only improving, got to the Champions League final, Champions League places this last season gone. So they're obviously in a good place at the moment. They're going to be likely to finish in the top 4. And I just think Arsenal, out of the teams between Manchester United and Arsenal right now, and this is such a pessimistic view to take, but that is how I feel as a frustrated United fan right now. I just don't know if we've got the right people in charge at this club at the top running this ship to be able to actually improve us that significantly in this transfer window. So I think that Arsenal are probably the team more likely to get into the top 4 next season. We shall see. Let me know what you guys think. I know you'll love that response, Alex. United fans won't, but that's my honest opinion. How are we going to get into the top 4 based on the shite we've got right now at the club? We need to make big changes, bring a lot of good players in, and get rid of the shite that we've got lingering around for years. Anyway, thanks so much for your question. He continues to support on the channel. Absolute legend, Alex Rudd. Thanks very much for stopping by with your question. Have a good one.
Hey Mr. Flying Pig, my question to you is, who is your current favourite Manchester United player? That might be a bit difficult considering most Manchester United fans hate almost 90% of this current squad.
Cheers, Daniel. Thanks very much for sending that question in, pal. Check him out on YouTube, All Things Man United. Top lad. They're all top lads here. But thanks very much for your question. So who's my favourite United player? Well, they're all absolutely shite at the moment, really. It's not like 10 or 15 years ago where you had to really struggle to think because they're all so good. Now you've got to struggle to think because they're all so shit. So I don't know, really. It's a tough one. I mean, over the last 5 years, David De Gea, I used to be a goalie myself, and he's always been a fantastic player for us. Always committed. Obviously, he had a bit of a tail off towards the end of this season. Maybe exterior things going on, transfer talks, contract negotiations, all that sort of stuff may have affected him. But you can't doubt the lad's commitment and also his input over the last 5 years. So to me, he's probably our best player. In terms of outfield players right now, I mean, crikey. What a load of shite we've got. I'm racking my brains. I can't think of anyone that I would really put my hat down and say that is my favourite Manchester United player right now. How sickening is that? It's absolutely sickening because all of these players that we've currently got are either not good enough or not committed enough, or a combination of the two. Sack a lot of them. Anyway, thanks very much for your question there. Much appreciated.
Right, Flying Pig. Yeah, just a question for you. Who is, in your lifetime, who do you think is the worst United player you've seen? I mean, we've had Bebe, Obertan, Jemba, even Tom Cleverley. I was just wondering who you think is the worst player you've seen pull on a United shirt in your lifetime. Cheers, bud. You make me laugh all the time, man. And keep doing what you're doing. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much for your submission there. It's a good question. It's a tough one. You sort of look like how I feel at the moment. A little bit sleepy. Are you going to bed? That's what I want to know. But anyway, thanks very much for your submission. So the worst United player that I've seen, I mean, there's a load of calamities, isn't there? A lot of this current crop are awful. Jones, Smalling, they're absolutely terrible. Like you said, Bebe, Obertan. There's been some calamities in there over the years. There really has. Massimo Taibi, that Southampton, Matt Letizia blunder goes down in history, and then we just never saw from him ever again. It's like you put in there, you're an awful goalkeeper, see you later. He was an awful player for us, even though it was just such a short spell. But over longevity, I mean, Alexis Sanchez got to be right up there. You know why? Because he costs so much. We pay him so much money to walk his dogs on the beach. And he hasn't actually done anything over the last season. So for the amount that we've spent on a player, and I have to factor that in, he is probably the worst signing or the worst player that we've seen, just because he's been so awful, and we're paying him a shit ton of money, and you at least expect something out of it. But no. So I'd have to say, as silly as it is, as great of a career as he's had as a top player, he's shite, man. So I'd go for Alexis Sanchez. Bit of a controversial one. Good question though. Get your responses in the comment section. What you think about that one? Who's the worst United player that you've seen in your lifetime?
All right, Mr. Flying Pig. This is Northern Nightmare doing a video for you here, spouting some quite old United memorabilia here. But anyway, yeah. So my question to you is, before that, thanks for the channel. It's really good. Appreciate it. Not like that gobshite Goldbridge. Anyway, enough of it, Ian. What is your favourite Man United moment by the treble and your worst Man United moment? Yeah, that's about it. Keep up the good work, mate, and I'll keep commenting. See ya.
Thank you very much for the question, Northern Nightmare. Straight from the 1990s. Absolutely fantastic t-shirt there. Why would you want to live in any other era when that was obviously United's best time? Oh, to go back to those days. Anyway, to answer your question, my favourite Manchester United moment, other than the treble, obviously, and other than maybe 2008 Champions League final, pipping Chelsea to it in penalties. John Terry crying his eyes out. That was a great moment, wasn't it? But other than those ones, obvious ones, I'd probably say when we beat Liverpool's Premier League tally of 19, we got 19 when they only had 18. I think it was around 2011 when we did that. And then obviously Fergie won the league in 2013 before retiring to go 2 ahead of them. So I'd say the 2011 one, just because it was just like, we are the most successful club in England, Scousers, whether you like it or not. You might have these European Cups, which they just recently added to. But they still never won the Premier League, have they? They still to this day have not won the Premier League. So we won it shitloads. Anyway, I'd have to say my least favourite United memory is probably when Manchester United got pipped to the title by Man City. Last day of the season, Aguero, all that crap. You know, Joey Barton got himself sent off. I still blame the little rat for that, because QPR were doing all right. They were winning. Gets himself sent off. Changes the course of the game there. Nuts alien head company on his way out. And of course, Manchester United lose the title. The look on Sir Alex Ferguson's face, man, it still haunts my dreams. And that's probably my favourite and my least favourite moment. But thanks very much for your question there, pal. Keep up the awesome time warp there. And thanks very much for stopping by, as ever, legend.
Boom shakalaka. Hey pig, it's Alex Rincon. Love the channel, love supporting you. My question is, if you could pick 2 previous United players to play on this current squad, who would it be? I'll give you my answer. Number 1 would be Jaap Stem, because we need a badass center back. And number 2 would be Bobby Charlton, because we need a really good midfielder. Let me know. Thanks.
Alex Rincon, the Rinconator, thank you very much for getting in here with a question, man. Sick beard, by the way. We've had some awesome beards on the show today already. Northern Nightmare with another sick beard. Lots of beards on display. So thank you very much for showing us the beard. And also the Rooney framed shirt. Pretty sick. Anybody who doesn't like Wayne Rooney, Manchester United's leading all-time goal scorer, come on. What he did for United, he was a great player for us. Maybe tailed off towards the end of the career, but come on. Anyway, thank you very much for your question there, Yap Stam, and obviously Bobby Charlton. Great shouts. Bobby Charlton, left foot, right foot, could ping it. Obviously, it's a different generation, different type of game, but I mean, if you're talking about a goal-scoring midfielder, it doesn't get any better than that. Yap Stam, obviously, unfortunately, went to Lazio after writing that shite in his book, and we got rid of him, but could have gone down even more of a legend if he'd have just stayed a little bit longer at the club, but what a contribution he had. Even in that Legends game the other day, he still looked like he would be better than Jones and Smalling. So he's a great shout. The two players that I would bring back, though, are probably Paul Scholes. I just think if you've got Paul Scholes, the metronome man in the centre of the park, ticking things over, you're always going to be okay. He's like a playmaker. He like makes your team do stuff by playing these crazy through balls. And just his vision was unbelievable. He wasn't the most complete player, you know, defensively. Left a little bit to be asking, you know, king of the 2-foot late challenge. You could get Paul Scholes aged 18 right now, we'd be all right again for the next decade. I truly believe that. And if you're talking about another player that I would love to see back at United in their pomp, in their heyday, it's a toss-up between Giggsy and Cantona. Cantona was such a catalyst for us, such a leader, such a huge player, something that we're lacking, a real talisman for us. And he had an incredible impact for the 5 years he was at the club. I believe we won 4 out of 5 Premier Leagues when Eric Cantona was there. So if we had him, that would be amazing for United right now, because we're lacking in that department big time. Also, Giggsy, just the most decorated United player of all time, decorated Premier League player of all time. So he definitely deserves to be right up there. But if I had to narrow it down right now, Scholesy and Cantona, I know we do need a centre-back, so that's absolutely crazy. But I'm just assuming that our board is going to go out there and do some bloody business. Anyway, thanks very much for your question there, Alex Rincon, absolute legend. I'm going to wrap this video up now. If you enjoyed this video Q&A, please do get your submissions into mrflyingpighd@gmail.com. Your video submissions around about 30 seconds, landscapes preferable. If you want to ask me a question for next week's video Q&A, which I'm going to try and do one of these every single week. If you guys like it, get your comments in. Get your thoughts and opinions and also your answers to all the questions in the comments below. The 5 questions from the 5 legends that have kicked off the very first Q&A video on this channel. So thanks very much for stopping by, all of you. And everybody who submitted questions, please do get your questions in to my email. Thanks very much for watching. This is the Pig on Flying Pig United. Have yourselves a good one. Come on, United, sort yourselves out.